The Stephie Smalls Show on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by EdgeBoost, the bank account built for bettors. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with promo code SGPN and get a free Refster Terrace t-shirt. Claim your shirt at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/refs. We're also brought to you by Naira Bets. Get your $25 free bet for the Belmont by going to nyrabets.com/SGPN25, promo code SGPN25. And finally, the Stanley Cup Final and NBA Finals are this week, and you can get all of SGPN's free picks and podcasts with the SGPN app.
Are you ready?
Welcome back, everyone, to the Stephie Smalls Show. It is Monday. It is Canadian Open week. I almost forgot what tournament it was. We do have a major coming up next week, but we will talk Canadian Open with Matt Gannon. And then I am also going to bring in Tera, Yahoo fantasy analyst. We're going to talk a lot of fantasy. It's time. We are here. So let's bring in Tera, get the show going.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good. It's been a day. I went to sleep at like 1 a.m. last night and woke up at 5 a.m. I probably need a little bit more coffee to carry me through, but I'm here. I'm good to go.
There must be something in the air because I also could not sleep. I slept horribly last night, and I feel like I've just been like walking around in like an absolute daze today.
Yeah, same. It was self-inflicted. I'm a serious coffee person, and as I was sitting there drinking coffee at like 9 p.m., I knew what was going to happen. I knew I had to get up at 5. I don't know why I did that, but sometimes we do dumb things. Yeah.
You're doing it to yourself too, and you're actively like, this is a horrible idea, but I'm going to continue to do it, even though it's not a good idea. Yes. I know you do some golf handicapping. Is there anything you're looking at for this week's tournament, or have you not taken a look at it yet?
Oh, I was just diving into it today.
Yeah.
This one it's funny because I'm a big course history person, and so now this week I'm like, oh my god, what are we gonna do?
Right.
But it's exciting. We got a brand new course that for a lot of these guys, not a lot of data on it in terms of how they do on it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm crossing my fingers maybe it's finally a Ludvig comeback week. That's my thing that I hope for on a regular basis.
Yeah, I know. I get addicted. And now I've been rolling with Sam Burns, and I feel like I'm just going to stay on the wagon there. And then my gut tells me that Rory's just going to win because it's such a Rory course that I just see it going that direction. But we'll see. Figured I'd ask you because I know you've been dabbling in some golf handicapping. Did you see the Madden cover this year?
I haven't seen it yet. I drove like 3 hours today, so I have not. I saw the tweet come through. I didn't click it.
So it is Saquon. We know about the Madden curse. How are we feeling about Saquon now being on the cover of Madden?
Well, I got a lot of early best ball picks, so I've been having a decent amount of Saquon this season. So we'll see how that goes. Right. Yeah, I don't know. It's not 100%. I mean, he's fantastic. I do generally get a little bit worried about guys coming off of massive workloads and carrying that into the next year, but Saquon's one of those guys, and the Eagles are just the Eagles. So it's tough to say, yeah, let's bypass Saquon and fade him. Like,
you just can't do it. And then what about it made me start thinking a little bit about some of the other, I wouldn't even call Saquon an aging elite running back, but then if you start talking about guys like Kamara, Derrick Henry, CMC, is there any of those guys that stand out? Like, you're not fading them, but you're not necessarily like, if there's a better option available, you might be passing.
I've been struggling with Kamara. Now, granted, I've drafted him. It's not been like a full fade or anything. If it's there and the value is good, I'm taking it. But it's tough because it's obviously it's no concern with him. He's been fantastic. He's still got the juice, but we can't ignore the fact that they're in a precarious situation in terms of their quarterback. So I hate to see it be another situation where they don't have a lot of goal line opportunities for him. We are relying on reception and crossing our fingers, and we're rotating quarterbacks on a weekly basis. That one I hate. because I love Kamara.
It's not a pretty outlook. And then, even I feel like I was doing best ball and I kept drafting Olave because of where he was. And now you start thinking about the concussion stuff and you start reading some of the medical, like backside of it. And it's like one more concussion and he might be looking at retirement. So now do I need to kind of stay away from him on top of that team already just being a mess?
Yeah. And my Olave dynasty shares are just sitting there like staring at me in the face angrily. Yeah, that's another one that's tough there, because at the same time you kind of wonder, even if there's not any kind of medical issue, like what happens if they just, and this one applies to Kamara as well.
Yeah.
If they're fully aware, like, okay, we've got a first year head coach who's fantastic, right? But we don't have a quarterback. Maybe we're tanking and we're vying to get the quarterback of our dreams in next year. And, maybe somebody tweaks an ankle, sits a little bit. I can see that happening with Olave. So,
I could too. I know that's a tough part too, because I could very much see the Saints, and the Saints do this thing where they kind of, they're not just not like a future forward team. They kind of just like draft for the right now. But I could see them being, 2-7, and then we see them start. Oh, look, this person's ankle pops up, and this one's got a concussion, and this defensive player is out for the rest of the season. Like I could see a lot of that as they trend towards, this QB class that is coming in. I know they did. They invested in Shuck, and I think he's worth a touch in Dynasty, but I'm not going out of my way with him.
Yeah, same.
It's like, where are you at when it goes to drafting rookies? What's your approach in redraft? Like, I am someone that has never really, I'm not shy to taking the young guys. It's worked for me in the past, but I'm not over drafting guys that were drafted in the 4th round. We're talking about the guys that are at the top of their, at the top of their class. Do you have a tendency to take rookies, stay away? Like, how do you approach drafting rookies?
I'm fine with it. The only ones that I won't say, I drafted a decent amount of Brock Bowers last year, so that wasn't an issue. If I feel like the only position that I get wary of is tight end, because you can get into a situation where they legitimately might not see the field, even when you think like this guy should be seeing the field. So when I look at, Tyler Warren, who obviously is going to see the field right away and get opportunities, but what's the quarterback situation? Look at a Colston Loveland and you're like, okay, how much, how many passes are there available to go around to everybody? Right. That's the only one that I kind of pump the brakes on. But I mean, I'm okay with the value on Tet isn't bad, so I'm okay with Tet McMillan. A lot of these guys aren't really pushing up. It's just Genty. So I'm not really finding myself fading a lot of them, because we're not getting that that Marvin Harrison Jr. Elevated ADP that we were seeing from last year.
Right. It's really just Genty that has that. Yeah. And as he should. That's very expected. There's no surprise to me by where he is going by any means. Do you have a favorite rookie? Who's your favorite rookies that you find yourself drafting a lot right now?
Oh, my favorite. So this is maybe one that's going to be a little bit weird for people. I'm drafting a lot of RJ Harvey. Okay. Because when people are looking at Dynasty, you can make the argument age and whatnot. Okay. Although as we kind of progress with all these running backs, we're seeing that, look, the age cliff is pushing back. It's not as big of an issue as it was before. But especially in redraft, I'm coming more along to it, and I've got trust issues with Sean Payton for sure. But I'm coming more along to it, and looking at looking at the rest of the backfield, and I'm like, just how I think I do need to trust Sean, that he's going to look at this group and say, RJ Harvey is my guy. That's my guy that I wanted. I got him. He can do everything that I want. He is going to be my 3-down back. I'm not doing this ridiculous, we're going with the hot hand situation. We're not getting an aggressive ADP on it. So I feel pretty comfortable with RJ Harvey.
Oh, so speaking of Sean Payton, before I ask you a little bit more about kind of a little bit more flag plans for the season, Evan Ingram, are you okay with where he's at right now? Or are you just going to because we have seen Sean Payton, he can get the most out of tight ends, and Evan Ingram is a very capable, frustrating player for if he was on your team before. But I think there is something there where I might find myself towards the end of drafts. He might be that, he's sitting there and I'm, I have no tight ends. He might be one of those guys that I click if I fade tight end for a little bit.
I like him. I like that the ADP is pushed back. I think that we can make excuses for last year. There were just so many things going on in Jacksonville, from Trevor Lawrence and his struggles to the injury to just an offensive situation just wasn't working as a whole. So I can make the excuses and say, okay, I like Evan Ingram in the context of this offense. I also like that. I do like Courtland Sutton a lot. But aside from that, there's guys that we like, but they're not guys that are the solid wide receiver too. They're not the second look in the offense. So there's a realistic possibility that Evan Ingram is the default second look in that offense, and that's what we want. So yeah, I'm all for it.
Love it. Before we talk about some flag plants here, I'm going to tell everyone about Edge Boost, which is the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. No usage fees, no minimums, earn cash back rewards. 100% approval for betting deposits. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with promo code SGPN. And if you sign up this week, you'll get a free Refs or Terrors t-shirt. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/refs to claim your free shirt. Time for my bonus underdog pick'em. Underdog is going long for the NBA Finals with their extender bonus. Hop in game one, and the longer the series goes, the bigger the bonus gets. Here's a pick'em entry I like for the Canadian Open. It's going to be finishing position better than 20 for both Sam Burns and Pendrith. That'll get you 4.03x your money. So sign up with Smalls, 2 L's, to claim your special pick and first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code Smalls. Naira bets. It's time to bet on the Belmont Stakes at Saratoga. Sign up today using promo code SGPN25 and get a $25 free bet plus a $200 deposit match bonus. Whether you're a seasoned bettor or just getting started, Naira Bets makes it easy to jump into the action. This exclusive offer is just for the Belmont Stakes, so don't wait. Join now and claim your free $25 Belmont bet today at nairabets.com/SGPN25. The ad reads out of the way at last. Who is a player that you are going to have on every team this year?
I showed my hand. Courtland Sutton. Yeah, it's him. I love the potential there. Bo Nix in year, and I know that people might get worried about. Obviously, we had the CJ Stroud year 2 downturn, and everybody's looking for who's that rookie quarterback or the second year quarterback that's going to have that same trajectory. And Bo Nix is probably one of the top candidates for that. But I love the connection that he had with Courtland Sutton. I feel like Sutton is just so incredibly underrated. The ADP is fantastic right now. And when you look at the season as a whole, you're like, okay, solid wide receiver too. But you do have to take into account when you're looking at the season that was Bo Nix's rookie season. So you have to kind of eliminate and say, okay, let's look at this as it progressed and as Bo became this fantastic rookie quarterback, the connection that they had. Sutton was literally a top 10 wide receiver in average points per game in the back half of the season. Like, I fully expect that to continue. I like everything Denver did in the off season. The defense is going to be absolutely stupid. Just think that Sutton is definitely one of my guys that I'm just draft. I can't get enough.
I know. I was talking to my friend Dave Kluge about this actually today with Sutton and with the Broncos. Is Peyton kind of was holding? I don't want to say holding Nick's back, but you saw him really open up that offense towards the end of the season, because it was a lot of heavy check down, short shuffle, a lot of very short stuff. And then you saw him start opening it up, letting him air it out, letting him throw that deep ball, which we know Courtland Sutton is great at. He's someone I bet longest reception all the time. Once, Sean Payton was like, okay, I'll let it go a little bit, take the training wheels off. So when we saw that happen, so I'm with you. I think Sutton is primed for a really good year. One of the guys that, and I'm sure everyone that's listening is like, please do not talk about him one more time. I'm going to. I think that Drake London is undervalued, because for some reason, when I'm in these best ball drafts, people are just letting him fall and fall and fall. And I don't get it. There is nothing about Drake London that is, other than Penix is going to be starting. If that goes horribly, then Kirk Cousins comes back, and then what? So I just think Drake London, from a value standpoint and how I'm seeing people pass on him, he's definitely going to be one that I am all over this year.
I 100% agree. I had a best ball team that it's still drafting, but I actually it's super flex, and I took I had like maybe like the 12th pick, and so I took Bijan there. And then when it came time, I can't remember exactly what pick it was. I don't know if it was the second or the third.
Yeah.
But as I came around, the value was just too good to pass up on Drake London. Do I want to
Right.
have every single piece in Atlanta? Like, okay,
Mhm.
ideally, no, but I mean, it drops so far. It's
Yeah.
just like you're passing up on one that is just, yeah, people are just flying over that
It's
one.
kind of it's just an unnecessary
Yeah.
overreaction to I'm not really sure what is the thing. Like he's just
Mhm.
at that point you kind of sometimes I see people make this mistake where sometimes you just have to draft the talent. Like at that point, you can't just keep letting Drake London, who is a fantastic wide receiver, keep dropping there. So you have to take him. So that's someone I'm looking at. Is there a bounce back candidate for you? Someone that you last year did not have a great season, but you will find yourself either getting back in on them or you will be in on them this season.
This will be a funny one, and I'm 100% okay with people disagreeing because this is not a passionate bounce back. It's just like logically, I think it's gonna happen. It's Deebo
Mhm.
Samuel.
Okay.
I mean, ideally, I would like him to be on a team where he is the wide receiver one. But I do think that we have a lot of we still got growth for Jane Daniels, and we have opportunity for somebody to step up as the second option in that offense. And we've obviously
Yeah.
got the running upside as well. And the run game in Washington is interesting. I can see where he could definitely
Yeah.
contribute there as well. But really the thing that's driving that is that just historically, if you look at Deebo, and he's admitted it himself, he has from time to time just admittedly come in lazy and
Yeah.
untrained. And it's created this weird cyclical thing where he has a good year, terrible year, good year, terrible year.
Mhm.
So I can see him switching. Now he's pumped
Yeah.
up. He's on a new team. They've got opportunities. They're that close to the Super Bowl. He's got Jared Daniels, and he'll be training this offseason and come in a little bit slimmer and ready to go. And we'll get more wide receiver 2 level of Deebo
And I think
Samuel.
he's someone that just really needed the change in scenery. Like I know
Yes.
I've talked about this before. It's just some of these guys, and I don't blame them. Like we all know what it's like to work somewhere that you don't want to be there anymore, and it impacts you. Whether you want to say you're 100%, you're not 100%. If you're not, if something happens enough and so many times, and the environment becomes tainted like that, like yeah, he's not going to try
Yes.
as hard. It's fine.
Yes.
Listen, I'm fine with it. I know that they're getting paid a lot, but like I get it. So I think the change of scenery for him is going to be fantastic. Like I think he needs that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. So I for me, bounce back is probably an interesting way to describe it, but TJ Hockenson, I feel
Yeah.
like people are a little bit down on him after last year, which he was coming back from an injury. So now we're removed, we're fully healthy. He didn't really get any underneath stuff from Darnold. You saw in 2022, tight end 2, 2023 was tight end 4, and that was with, a million like a mirage of tons of different quarterbacks too, because that was a weird season for the Vikings. JJ is really good over the middle. That's one thing we know about JJ McCarthy. I think he should be going higher than tight end 8 right now. So, I'm comfortable taking him, higher than that. I'm okay taking him over like the Njoku's, the Jonnu Smiths probably, because you can wait and get him then.
Yeah, I like it. I've been taking a decent amount of him. I know, the unknown of JJ McCarthy.
It's scaring
Josh.
everyone.
Yeah, for sure. But it's funny because we've got this giant tight end gap. Everyone is like, by the end of the second round, you've got Brock Bowers and Trey McBride gone, and then you're just kind of sitting around until you get to Kittle. Like there's this massive gap, and so yeah, I mean, when you look at a TJ Hockenson, and where you're not having to draft him now, yeah, you can get on board with that
for sure. Is there a second year guy that is kind of like you can imagine having a standout year, or just playing better than their ADP?
I will go opposite of Deebo Samuel and go over to Ricky Pearsall.
Oh my God, that's the one I have down.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I mean, so we're on the same wavelength there. I feel like he's being massively
I don't
overlooked.
understand it.
Like he's going to be I understand we've got Kittle, right? And he's fantastic and he's going to be a good target hog in there. But realistically, Brandon Ayuk is not starting the season.
Why is everyone so high? like, I feel like I'm losing my mind in these drafts, or like even like just reading some things. Why is everyone so in on Juwan Jennings? I guess I get it, like, to an extent, but like, this is such a classic guy that, like, okay, yeah, every year you get what, 4 good weeks out of him, and sometimes it's in the playoffs. I just don't think. I think what like Ricky showed, he didn't see the field until week 7. Like, I think we really saw what he was capable of that week 17 game. He had like 141 yards, a touchdown. You saw him follow up week 18, the same things, 6 receptions, 69 yards, whatever it was, another touchdown, I believe. I just think for being drafted at wide receiver 40, the opportunity that is in front of him is just, what am I missing?
I don't know. I'm thinking the same way, because I'm just, it's like, it's weird. It's weird. Maybe it'll raise up as people start to clue in. And
I
like,
think so.
I don't know. Maybe they're forgetting that Ayuk is not going to start. Like, he will not be available at the start of the season. And it sounds like he's, continuing to be disgruntled anyway. So it doesn't make sense. And I like Juwan Jennings. I do. It's fun, occasionally. And I do think that I think he benefits more from lack of Ayuk than lack of Deebo. So I feel like Ricky just has such a great opportunity.
Yeah, like, I believe, like, I don't think it's crazy to say that, like, Ricky could be a top 25 receiver this year. I don't think that's it. I don't even think that should be a hot take, is the thing. No,
not at all. Like, it's just he will outperform his ADP. That's going to happen unless we see the rise.
Yeah.
Like, it's just something insane.
And the other thing is, their schedule is a joke. Like, they have such an easy schedule. It should not be like, he's just in such a good position. Everything is aligning for him to take a really nice jump in his second year. Do you have a favorite sleeper? I do hate that word. But is there a guy, in the later rounds that you have found yourself tapping?
Late sleepers, I tend to lean toward, let's go not super late and say I like Jack Besh. Sometimes when you look at rookies and you're trying to figure out, is this a guy that's going to pop in year 1? You look for, does he need development in routes? Are his hands reliable? Is this a guy that can immediately get onto field? And that's 100%. Him, Jacoby Myers, Brock Bowers, Geno Smith, Geno was fine last year. I know the numbers from
Geno is also going way too late.
Yeah, like that one, we've got Geno Smith fatigue here. He had it wasn't a great fantasy year last year, but it wasn't like some astronomical drop off, and it was a weird year for Seattle. So
in general,
so I'm looking at this and I'm just like, okay, I think Jack Besh is a rookie that could come on strong and you get good value out of him. If we want to go even super deeper, this is one that I have been on since the Senior Bowl. I believe, and I hate that for Isaiah Pacheco, but I believe in Brashard Smith. Somebody who's going to get out there and earn. And I'm hoping for Isaiah Pacheco's, for his benefit and for, any shares that I existing have of him, that it was just the injury. But I do worry that this is just another one of those situations where we've got a late round running back that a late draft pick running back that popped, and unfortunately there's no loyalty because there's not a massive investment. We see them fall off all the time. So
all the time. I didn't even have one written down, but I was just thinking as we were talking, as far as a sleeper and rookie drafts, if you're still doing them or doing a dynasty startup, I think Mason Taylor is worth a look.
Yeah.
I think that he is not getting talked about enough for the type of athlete that he is alone, and in the situation that he's walking into. I tend to I like to go after guys that I'm explain to me how he doesn't get work, because he's going to be involved in that offense in some way. Maybe it's not the volume I want, but I think at where you're drafting him, you're not taking a big hit on that.
Yeah, I 100% agree on that one. That's been a fun one in little tight end premium leagues where you wait a little bit and you're like, okay, I need to grab some guys late that have pop potential. And he's absolutely one of them. I mean, again, I hate to go back to like, the second, who's going to be the second look on the offense, but realistically, we're talking about a guy who is ready to
Right.
get in there. He was fantastic, right? He raised his draft stock significantly in the offseason, and I genuinely think that he can be that second look in the offense. We're going to obviously have the big volume to Garrett Wilson. That's how he
Yeah.
operates, but Mason Taylor just makes a lot of sense there.
It makes a lot of sense. And he's going to be on the field. I see a path where it's like if he is a fantasy winner this year, like I wouldn't be surprised if that's something we're talking about later on towards the end of the season. Okay. What about your must-have rookie? I know you said Harvey. Is there another one that you like?
Another one that is a must-have for me. Oh my gosh. Let's go with, this is indicative. I traded back a lot in rookie draft, so that probably showcases. I would say that, oh my gosh.
I'll give you mine if that.
Go ahead.
I've been drafting a lot of Henderson, and he's going to be out there a lot. He's a good blocker. I think that Stevenson is going to quickly fall behind him. Is all. I just don't think it's going to take long for Henderson's just natural talent to overcome that. They had problems with him last year. He was, I've been talking about him a lot too, but he was having the fumbling issues. He's going as RB27 right now, and I foresee him absolutely exceeding expectations at that ADP.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. I will say I'm not afraid of drafting Quinshon Judkins. And
I'm not either.
It is potentially delusion, but and I'm not saying that Shadur is going to win, because I don't think he will start the season. I do think it'll end up being Flacco. But I think the offense will provide a little bit more goal line opportunities than we're anticipating. And when I look at all the reasons that people are giving for why they've got issues with Judkins, it's, he shared the backfield at Ohio State, so he's probably going to share the backfield in Cleveland. I like Jerome Ford, I do, but I find that hard to believe that he can't beat him out. I just think that that's another one that I'm not afraid to draft.
Yeah, love it. Do you have a stay away before I let you get out of here? Someone you're like, I'm out. I can't do it this year.
Oh gosh, this will get some. My stay away is, and this is no offense whatsoever, because I love him. I will not be drafting Brock Bowers unless something happens, just because the odds of me taking a tight end at the end of the first, it's slim to none here. And it's not that I think he's going to have a downtick in volume. It's not that. It's just that the volatility, if we've seen anything, the volatility of those tight ends, they can have a fantastic rookie year, second year, things can change offensively. Again, we've got a lot of new juice in there, changes into the offense, and that one worries me a little bit. So it's not a fade. He's going to do terrible. I don't like Brock Bowers or anything. It's just that, man, at what point are we going to stop pushing tight end ADPs up to drafting them at the end of the first?
And what you're missing out on when you do that, and we know how volatile the position is, that you could just wait a bunch of rounds and probably just do a good job managing your roster and switching out guys on matchups and probably get the same, get almost what you need out of those guys. So it's hard for me there too, because I've always found that I don't love my rosters when I take a tight end that early.
It makes
doesn't
it
go
rough.
well. It makes it tough. It makes it tough. Tell everyone where they can find you, what you're working on, and I'll let you get out of here.
You can find me at It's Tera Time, ITSTERATIME. As you mentioned, I have been working on some additional sports this off season with odds checkers. So I've been doing golf DFS, some occasional NBA DFS. We're almost wrapped up on that, but that's been fun. And then you can also find me at the Dear Miss Fantasy Show with Player Profiler, weekly podcast.
Love it. Love it. Thanks so much for coming on. We'll have to get you on closer to the season.
For sure. Thank you for having me.
See ya. And I don't know why some of you have not entered the Circa Ultimate Fantasy Football giveaway. You guys know it's my favorite place in the world. It's where I held my draft last year, and you guys can do that too. You can enter for a 12-person league to draft in Vegas and be treated like VIPs the entire time. You get a limo ride to and from the airport, a $5,000 tab, 4 stadium swim, and a hotel stay for you and your 11 league mates. So get all of your league mates to enter. You can always get 15% off at all Circa properties with promo code SGP15. Enter the Ultimate Fantasy Football Contest for free at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Circa. You've heard us talk about Rhythm before, and they just dropped a game-changing feature called Power Trends. These are AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's model has consistently won and has a high ROI. Think a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the line and the win probability hit a certain range. Power Trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm. No touts, no noise, just clean data backed bets. Download the Rhythm app. That's a new one. That's awesome. Check out Power Trends and start betting smarter. We will be. I found one of the power trends that I like, and is TJ McConnell over 3.5 assists plus 100. Rhythm is predicting him to have 4.3. Get your 7-day free trial at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. We're brought to you by mybookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on every sport, including the NBA Finals. For the true DGens, the MyBookie money bag. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of locations. Easy deposit and lightning fast payouts. I like this matchup for the Canadian Open. Pendrith over Booby Mac -115. Head to mybookie.ag, promo code Stephie Smalls Show for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. Baked is crazy. All right. Let's bring in my friend Matt Gannon with the Golf Gambling Podcast here at Sports Gambling Podcast Network and Vince Eric's Golf. Hi. How are you, my friend?
Hey, great to talk to you as always. Happy to be on talking some Canadian golf. Let's get into it.
Yes, amazing. How is boots on the ground been going? When is the next boots on the ground? Are you going to the Open?
Going to the Open and the U.S. Open. So heading to Pittsburgh on Sunday to get boots at Oakmont, and then next will be Portrush for the Open. So we got a lot of stuff planned. Check us out at Vince Eric's Golf.
Yes, be sure to go check that out. It's great insight, helping you place your bets. Any takeaways from Memorial before we jump into the Canadian Open?
Scotty, good at golf. I'll go with that.
Good. He is getting, people are mad on Twitter. Like, the way that everyone wants to argue about him and Tiger is like, you guys are getting, we need to relax. It's not that serious. It's out of control.
Can confirm he is a good golfer, and he'll continue to hit his golf ball close to the hole. But yeah, outside of that, it's Scotty at Murrayfield Village. It's the truest, like, tee to green ball strike at course. There's no surprise that he's doing what he's doing there. So no real shock.
When he's in the field, are you betting the without Scotty markets?
I've dabbled. I've done a little bit of both, and I didn't last week. I took him on, but honestly, none of the other guys that I bet would have won in the without market, so I'm not like mad about it. But I've done like a few of them. I have. So this week, I'm not sure if I'm going to go in there without Rory, but I thought about it.
But it's kind of, doesn't it feel like such a Rory course? Like, I feel my gut is telling me he's going to win.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense for Rory on paper. My thing to not to think Rory's not going to win is him winning the Masters. He took so much time off, and I don't think he cares about, not that he doesn't care. Whatever he does going forward in the press, in the golf, and what he says I don't care. He could say or do whatever he wants. He won the Masters. He won the career Grand Slam. Go have fun, Rory. So I'm going to go with he took time off and he's not all the way dialed yet. I think this is a tune-up week for next week.
Not totally locked in kind of thing. Good week to get back into it. Okay, tell me, what do I need to know about the Canadian Open as far as the course goes, what we're looking for?
Yeah, a new track. We've never been here on the PGA Tour before. They've hosted a few other not Corn Ferry, like a PGA Tour America's event and some other local events.
Yeah.
I really do think a strong driving performance, total driving
Mhm.
distance is going to be a separator. With Canadian Opens of the past, they've been on shorter designs, a bit more putting driven, wedges, accuracy. This is a
Mhm.
bigger track, a longer par 70 where you're
Mhm.
going to have some mid to long irons more than a normal Canadian Open. So I do think this is a week where the ball striking is going to get rewarded more like a Memorial or more like a Bay
Mhm.
Hill rather than just like a
Yeah.
normal middle of the pack PGA Tour event.
Okay. So what were the first clicks by you here?
I'm thinking towards the top, I might go back to my guy Ludvig. I don't know how you feel about Ludvig.
I like it this week, I think.
Yeah, because I mean he hasn't been playing the best golf of late, but like it's a by the ceiling thing. Like we know he's gonna win inevitably. He's not perfect. He's still a baby. He's gonna have his bad weeks. And
Mhm.
14-1, 15-1 to beat maybe 5 good golfers, I could get there.
Yeah. I think I
Yeah.
could get there too. I'm on the
Anyone
Sam
you like at the
Burns wave
top?
right now, and
Sam
I'm just
Burns?
not going to stop. I'm just not going to stop. I think I just like where his game is at right now, and I really feel like a win is coming. And I used to not be a Sam Burns girly, but I am just going to ride the wave. I've been betting him every week. I've been taking the each way. I just think it's going to pay off. I still like the fit here. I just think he's playing solid golf.
Yeah, I mean, he's been driving it well. I worry about him hitting approach shots, but
I
like if
know.
I'm saying driving is going to be important this week, then yeah, Sam Burns can get hot, and we know what he can do on the greens in any given week if he
Correct.
heats it up. This isn't Bermuda, obviously, but Sam Burns can put everything in on a specific any given week.
So after Ludvig, who else are you looking at as far as like a outright goes?
So I thought about Shane, but I don't want. I bet Shane last week, and he really disappointed me on the putting green. So I don't think I'm gonna go back to Shane. The middle of the odds board is really odd. Like, there's no reason guys like Kurt Kitayama, Thorbjorn Olsen are priced like 50 points above Nikolai Horgaard, Ben On, Doug Game. So
Yeah,
I
I don't
really think
understand.
like the 90, 80 triple digits range is kind of where I'm gonna go to, like maybe like a guy at the top and then sprinkle some guys
Yeah, I think that's the way to
in
go.
that range. So like Ricky Castillo, he's a golfer who is
Mhm.
young. He's from Florida. He's gotten to the mix a few times this year. He got into the mix at Torrey Pines, at Innisbrook, 2 difficult
Mhm.
golf courses. Not saying that this is going to be a difficult track, but that shows me you got game. And he's really hitting the ball well. Like, I looked at his stats. I'm like, damn, this kid can stripe it. And I thought he was just a good putter, a good short game player, but he's proven to be able to hit the ball well, and that's going to be rewarded on a course like that. So you can get Ricky Pooks at 125-1 on forget what book,
Really?
but 125 is where I'm looking right now.
It's a nice number. I haven't
Yeah.
bet anymore. I haven't looked. I think I will look down the board is the way I'm going to go. And then I placed 2 top 20 bets already. One of them is Keith
Okay.
Mitchell. It's
I think I
plus
like that a lot.
200. His top plus 200 is a really nice number for a guy that's had a top 20 in 5 of his last 7. He also starts out hot, and I like that. He's had 3 first round leaders this year. I like that at a track like this. He rated out well, which shouldn't really be a huge shock considering like what he's doing, strokes gained total, driving distance, ball striking. I just don't think I don't see Keith winning, but like I think he will be at, like top 20. Like he's gonna finish like T13, and I'm not gonna be shocked.
No, and honestly, like I haven't bet Keith Mitchell ever, but I'm kind of considering it this week. Like the field's weak.
Really?
He's playing unreal golf this year in terms of like statistics. And I worry, like, if Keith Mitchell's tied with X golfer on the back 9, do you want to have a ticket on him? Like, probably not, because he's not going to win.
No.
But like 50-1, like if he's been 30-1 in these fields, and even in some stronger fields, like you can get a 50 in some spots, 45.
He's playing better.
He's playing so good, and but like this is me saying that right now, and then I also say like, how did Keith Mitchell ever win a golf tournament? Because he's so comically unserious. But like
he's like a legitimate, like unserious human being.
Truly unserious. And here I am, like depositing to the sports book and placing a bet on Keith Mitchell. But I might do it. I really might do it.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something about him that I think, I don't know, maybe I will get there. If I get there, I'm not going to tell anyone. So just
it will be a secret. It will be behind a paywall
on my secret card. The other top 20 is Pendrith. He gets good length off the tee. You know that. He's in some really nice form too. T12 last week. T12.
Yeah, T12.
And he was only behind Scotty in strokes gained tee to green. So he's just playing some nice golf. I never bet him, so this will probably go horribly. But again, top 20 at plus 150. I just don't hate the number either. It's a nice way to get action. Some of these guys, like, you're not going to find me betting him out, right? But like, yeah,
Right.
I can bet him at the top 20.
I mean, you said he was right behind Scotty tee to green. He led the field on approach last week, which is saying something. He gained almost 10 strokes ball striking. A little nugget. Apparently, he plays out of this golf course, and he's played this course more than anyone in the field this week. So that's only a positive. Strokes gained
What's
Canada.
his outright number?
He's popular this week. He's around 25, 30, which is like,
Ew.
I think he's popular. And I don't want to go to like a 25-1 Taylor Pendrith. Like I was on him like 100-1, like when he won last year. But I like him in the top 20 market. He's going to play well. He's hitting the ball too well. Finished T5 at Quill Hollow. Like Pendy is, he wants it. It's Canada, but there's also a lot of pressure in that. But top 20 should be safe.
Yeah. Okay. So two guys. Well, what did Thorpe drop out? Is that what happened?
Thorpe did drop out, and he withdrew from the last event he was in. So something's definitely up.
Something's got to be up. Okay. Two names that I can't believe I'm going to say this name again, but I'm going to say it again. I'm not going to bet him outright, but like maybe one of these like placement mark, like Eric Cole, kind of. I'm just saying, I don't like, you look at his approach, and there's a reason for me to like him. I don't know what the number is yet, but he stuck out to me. And then Luke Clanton's outright number feels a little egregious, but not at the same time. But like, what is it, 30-1?
Yeah, I think he's like in between 30 and 40 in some spots. I'm on Team Clanton. I am on Team Clanton through and through, but I do think there's going to be some pressure here. Like he has his card, he has expectations now. He's playing for money now. He's playing for a career. I don't think he's just going along like, yeah, he's going to get his card, he's going to get his card, he's going to get his card. Those were stress-free swings. If this was 75-1, sure, but I'm not buying him at 30-1. He's going to be priced in matchups against guys that are more proven than him. Fading Clanton for sure this week.
Yeah, I'd like to look at some of his matchups for this week. These guys, when they like these young guys, they're so popular their first couple tournaments that it's just not even worth it at the number that like all the value gets totally squeezed out of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait till Clanton drifts. I really don't think he's gonna be in the conversation this weekend, but hopefully he makes the cut and plays some good golf because there's gonna be some cool, fun events for him to really take advantage of, like 3M Open, Rocket Mortgage. Those are courses where I can see. And honestly, this is not a bad fit either, but I'll wait till that number drifts.
Yeah. Anyone else that you're kind of looking at here before we start wrapping up?
Yeah, there's some like I said, names down in like the 100-1 range. Like if this event in the exact same field was in January or February, Ben On would have been 35-1. Now he's not playing good golf at all right now, but he's proven to pop at random times, and this field is so weak. And I'm looking at a golf course that suits elite driving. Ben On gives you that. Him and then Kevin Velo, he's down towards like 500-1 in some spots, 1,000-1 on Bet365, top 40 market. I like him to make the cut and make a top 40 for you. I think he just qualified for the US Open at one of the qualifier sites. He's just a better golfer than where he's priced. So I like to see Kevin Velo have a top 40. I'm not sure what number you can get, but he's 1,000-1. So I'm sure it's going to be good.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be nice. I will definitely be telling you on that. All right. I think that's it for that. I just want to talk about one person because I just want your Colin Morikawa is so annoying to watch play. I'm like so tired of him. He's on my season-long team, and I'm so pissed off that I spent the money on him.
Yeah, it's really tough. And like I was debating last week, like, do I bet Colin? Do I bet JT? I went with JT, and then Colin popped Thursday, Friday. I'm like, shit, I made the wrong decision. Yeah. And he had one bad hole, and his week was done. I'm like, all right, I'm happy I didn't go to Colin because he's not real anymore. I just don't understand what he's doing because he's making insane decisions with his caddy. He's not listening to what his caddy is saying, and he's playing horrible. I don't get it. It's so frustrating. I'm with you.
I don't understand. And it's like, and like, it doesn't even really look like he cares, but then he'll like fake seem outraged. But I'm not buying anything about, like, there's nothing about him that is like appealing to me right now.
No, and like he's too good of a golfer to like be in this weird mode that he's in right now because he seems like
popping enough. Like he's not even getting himself to these. It's like he's either like T50 or T20, and it's like you're not even showing me anything that I should give a shit about.
No, it's really a tough scene for Colin Morikawa right now, and then he'll get on in the media and like try to like throw a pity party and like
Yeah.
it's
And it's like,
tough.
you don't even have a right to be being a douche right now, to be honest. Like, you're not
No,
playing
like
well enough, buddy.
he knows he cannot ever touch Scotty right now. Like, how am I supposed to beat this guy? And like he just can't. So it's gonna be some time before I can probably go back to Colin. I try to get
mental
with him at
midget.
Quail Hollow, and no, I'm not there.
Yeah, I can't do it. Okay, US Open winner. Who you got for me?
I really want to get eyes on Xander Schauffele. I have been successful with Xander in the past. I haven't gone to him this year, but I'm starting to see some signs. I'm waiting to get eyes on him next week and see how he's driving it. He had a really nice driving week at Quail, and I think that was because of like his comfortability at Quail and his use to the sight lines. It's been bad outside of that, but I want to see how he's driving it next week at Oakmont. So definitely check back in, and then Ludvig. I'm just so high on Ludvig's game. I think I might just go with those two guys, but this is also a week before. A lot can change, but early leans those two.
I like it. I don't know who I think I bet Sam Burns for this actually already, like weeks and weeks ago. I think that's the only future I have right now. I had Xander last week, but only because I got a good number with a boost on it. I don't know. I'm so in on Xander still. I just know it's coming. I know it's like we're tiptoeing on him spiking again.
Yeah, he just got to have a nice driving week. The irons have been awesome with Xander, and I mean, you miss all the time. Like it's gonna be rusty, and we're finally seeing it come back to fruition with Xander, which is a great thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell people where they can find you, what you're working on, and then I'll let you get out of here.
Yeah, definitely hit me up on Twitter. It's right there on the screen, Matt_Gannon_. Follow me on Instagram for some sick Instagram stories. And then Vinceric's Golf, just the boots on the ground stuff, golf gambling podcast. And yeah, hit me up. Any questions, anytime.
Love it. You're the best. We will get out of here. I will be back on Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Like, rate. Oh my gosh, can I speak? Was that a stroke? Like, rate, review.